Good morning everyone. It's a really nice day today. So I thought today we'll start with these guys while I'm up this way. So in a minute, once we come out of here, I'll probably lose signal for a second, but we'll see the orangutans. We'll have a look around the top end of the park today. It's all around the rainforest SOS bit, see the little horses, go check out Little Himalaya, and then come down and maybe go around the big cats today, and then finish round sort of halfway around the park or so. So these are our Rothschild giraffes. Believe it or not, they're actually the same age, so there's 1 day between them. And we've got Rudy on the right there, and Robin is the smaller one on the left. So they're settling in really well now. They're feeding fine now. So it took them a few days to settle in. For the first couple of days they went off their food a little bit. But that's understandable. It's a big change for them, so they've come out of a big herd. I think actually Woburn, which is where they come from, have got the biggest herd in the country, I believe, or certainly one of, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest herd. So it's a big change for them to now be just the two of them. But they were getting a little bit too big to be part of that herd. So they are coming up to an age now where they're starting to get a little bit interested in the girls and starting to get a little bit interested in having little fights over the girls. So before they become a problem, what they do is the males, they get moved on to other herds, either to make new herds for breeding, or like with these two guys, they will actually, they're the first two out of what will be a bachelor herd here. So you can see there we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 nighttime stalls. So the plan is to have 4 boys here. And again, so that's Rudy on the right and Robin on the left. So today they haven't got any browse yet at the moment. So at this time of year is a little bit difficult for us to get fresh browse. So we did have some willow for them. There's a few tiny little leaves left on there. They do eat the bark off those as well. And then there's a few little bits left on this one. And then we have a mixture in these troughs. So on top there you can see those leaves. That is something called silage. And what that is we make that at the end of the summer, and we take a lot of the leaves, little twigs and things from the trees while they're still nice and fresh and green, and we put it into sealed containers, and then it sort of ferments a little bit. It means that we can keep it a lot longer, and it maintains quite a lot of its nutrients that way. And then underneath that we have this special hay. So it's sort of a moist hay, so it's actually called, so a lot of people call it haylage, and it is called lucerne, so that's the type of grass that it's from. And then they have 2 types of pellet food as well. So everyone's keeping safe over there, and the animals are keeping safe as well. So if your passes run out in 2 weeks, don't worry. What we're going to do is we're going to try and make sure that no one's missing out. So let us know. And what we'll do is we're going to try and add whatever time that we're closed, we're going to add that back onto your tickets. So you don't need to worry about missing out on these guys. It's no one's fault that we're in this situation, so we're going to try and make sure that once we come out of this, no one's missing out, and that we can do whatever we can to try and make sure that everyone's back and happy. Right. So I'm going to go around into the park now. Now in this section here, so this is the upstairs in the orangutans. You might find that you'll lose me for a second. If we do, I'll be back as soon as I get back outside. Right, it looks like the orangutans are all outside anyway. So I must remember to come back and lock those later. We've had a lot of wind here the last few days. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, so we've got two giraffe enclosures. So we've got two inside bits and two outside bits. And the furthest away outside area and Irene, yeah, you don't need to worry. We have said on our website as well that all of your passes will be extended for this time that we're away. So we're not going to let anyone miss out. So they've got a nice long tunnel there above the dinosaurs. So it's nice up here, you get a nice view of the orangutans as well. They've been a bit naughty today, they've been picking grass. So a lot of thought went into the trees that we picked for these enclosures, based on a load of research and what people have been saying about other zoos of their experience with orangutans. But they, yeah, we've got some naughty ones who have decided that actually they want to go against the grain and destroy everything we put in there. But that's what it's like working with these guys. So this is the outside paddock for the giraffes. Hi Bubba from Melbourne. Hope everything's alright over there. So that big tunnel is for connecting the inside and outside areas for the orangutans. Hi Lucas, we miss all you guys as well. It's very quiet over here at the moment. So there they are, so you can see there, Jin the gentleman is feeding Molly. Natasha, we would like to, so that's part of the plan, but we'll see. So obviously there's a lot going on at the moment that we're trying to sort out, but after that, probably might not be as soon as we open. But yeah, it's certainly something that we are looking at for down the line. So that's Jin on the left, and with the big handful of grass, and Molly on the right being fed, like the little princess that she is. So yeah, so these two have really hit it off. So there's the paddock again. So next time you're here, I've actually got, I think, on Thursday, I think, or it might be, although it's Saturday, one day this week, I'm going to be telling you a lot more about this area. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. But as you'll see from the Rainforest SOS talk that I'll be doing, next time you're here, take sort of notice some of the signs up here, and listen out to what's going on, because there's a lot of sort of little stories being told up here that a lot of people don't necessarily straight away sort of pick up on. Here's our collarless monkeys, always chilled out. So again, a lot of thought went into these trees, and it was all wasted. Didn't see this guy down here. Why does he feed her? So Molly, she is a master manipulator. If she can get away with not doing something, she will get away with not doing it. So if she can get away with not feeding herself, because Jin absolutely loves her and wants to do it for her, she will take full advantage of that. So Jin does have usually ulterior motives. He wants to get cuddles. The colobus, they are a really underrated species, partly because a lot of time they don't do an awful lot, and they're not the most active monkey, but they are really, really interesting. And I always really like how chilled out they always are. So he's making the use of the fresh grass down there. Oh, here's Bella. Oh, and we got a squirrel monkey who's not happy to see me. So what we have here, we've got common squirrel monkeys. So that's one of the young ones there. We got this chap here. So this is Bella. Hi Caitlin and Megan. The giraffe's already here. So at the moment, so the research, there's not that much has been done with the coronavirus and animals. It is thought that because primates can catch other types of coronavirus, that there is a chance that they could be susceptible to this one too. As far as I'm aware, there's not been any reports of primates, especially in zoos or anything, getting affected by it. But we're not taking any chances. So with our primate team, they're actually a little bit sort of separated from the rest of the keepers. So they have their lunch separate now, and they've got a temporary kitchen which we set up for them, just so we can try and keep them apart a little bit more, to try and keep that risk down. And we're doing extra things, extra food washing and things like that. So yeah, we are taking some precautions just in case. It really is just a sort of just in case scenario. We don't know what's going on with them, but yeah, with the lions, we barely ever actually hear them anymore because we got so used to them being here. Same goes with the wolves. We don't hear them howling or anything like that. You get used to the noises here very, very quickly. So we've got 2 giraffes at the moment. Don't let the lovely fetching pink blanket for you. This is Bellan, he's one of our boys. And he's not actually too protective of them. He's quite good with giving things up. Molly, the female, she will guard her her blankets, her food, anything she's got. But most of our orangutans and the chimps are the same as well. If they've got something that they shouldn't have, or they've got something that we want, they will usually give it back, especially if you've got a nice treat for them. See you later, mate. So our dinosaurs, they're all hibernating at the moment while we got no one here. So a lot of you might have seen on our blog post that it costs us about £52,600 a week to run the park, and that's whether we're open or not. And that's all self-funded, so we don't get any funding from anyone else. So obviously we do have contingency plans in place for these sorts of times, and we do plan for this all the time. But those funds obviously are finite in amount, they don't go on forever. So all the help that people have been giving us, that has been a real big help for us, a real big support. And especially when it comes to feed and things like that. Food donations, they're absolutely brilliant. We've got another few which have come today, so I'll be putting out a little post about them. But yeah, going back to the dinosaurs as well, we at the moment, because we are closed, the one thing that we can save a little bit of money on is electricity. Although that only makes us a tiny little dent. During the year when we open to run the park, we probably, I would say, a good £10,000 of that a month, I think, or so, maybe a little bit more as well, goes on electricity. So we have a very big electricity bill, even though, and you can't see it from here, but we've got the whole of our play area is covered with solar panels, so we do produce a lot of our own electricity as well. So yeah, all the support we can get is really, really appreciated. So we thank everyone who has been supporting us, and even just watching these videos and sharing them with your friends, and knowing that you're going to be there for us when we do open up again, is a really big help for us. It keeps us going. So there we've got Roots, the Lynx, he's in the back corner there, chilling out in the sun. It is a really nice day over here today. Hope everyone else who's watching is having nice weather. I'm just trying to see. So Arun the bear, he's asleep inside. I can't get over to see the girl Mika. Hi Gemma's sister. Sorry, I don't know your name. Happy birthday. What's your sister called, Gemma? I did have a look to see if we can do a sort of pay-per-view thing, but I don't know how to set it up, so. But no, like I said, even just knowing that you're all still supporting us is a massive boost for us. So we know that we're going to be all right at the end of this, with you guys helping us. Here's a binturong. So if you have a look on our on Sandwich Wildlife Park's Facebook page today, there's a nice video that George has made there. I don't know who the camera operator was, whoever it was a bit shaky. But no, they've done a really nice video of the binturong that's down there, getting his exercise. So there's the dinosaurs. So a few people have asked for a dinosaur talk for the kids, just obviously why they're not at school. That might be useful. So a little bit about evolution, extinction, things like that. So if everyone's interested in that, let me know in the comments. That is why I laugh, because I know I'm not a pro either. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you think that a dinosaur talk would be useful, and I'll swat up and try and do something for you. And happy 5th birthday as well, Jamie. Sounds like there's lots of birthdays today, so anyone who's watching us, happy birthday. The only marsupials we've got are wallabies. So we've got Bennett's wallabies and Palmer wallabies here. Right. So the tapirs on this beautiful day are indoors. I can see one poking their head out the door, so let's have a look. So we've got lowland tapirs here. So they're from Brazil. I'm going to lay down. So I think that's Kathleen. I'll double check. So I've got a few different at different times that I'm doing these. So this is one of the earliest ones I've done. But if you have a look on our sticky post, yeah, you can't see there. There's another tapir in there. If you have a look at our sticky post, that shows you the schedule for this week. I might try and fit in a few other bits as well if I can. So there's another 2 of these general tours this week. I've got a few talks with keepers lined up as well, and a little talk about deforestation and palm oil, which are going to be a lot more interesting than it sounds. So make sure you tune in for that one. It's going to be educational but fun. Right, so the pumas are all in. Oh, they're hiding in the bushes over there. I'm sure we can see some jaguars. Jaguars in as well. Oh no, there's Loki. So we have been asked to do a separate Amazon wishlist, because our Amazon wishlist, generally speaking, we use that for more sort of treat bits for the animals, because a lot of people don't like to treat the animals for the enrichment, toys and things like that. But we've been asked to do an Amazon wish list for some more items which are a little bit more essential. So that's something which I'm going to do later. So there's Loki, the jaguar. So that's the boy. Yeah, I think it's next week. I've got a big cat talk lined up for you guys with Sarah, our head of carnivores. So she'll be talking about probably the lions, jaguars, pumas, cheetahs, and maybe tigers as well. So I'm going to see if she can combine her big cat talk and her tiger talk into one. He is probably one of my favourite cats here. He is absolutely gorgeous. I think you'll be hard pressed to find a more beautiful cat than that. The pattern's perfect, he's big and stocky and he's lovely. Like lions, so one of the lions is indoors. Then we've got another one there in the shade. Looks like he's got some food down there, which will be why they're locked away from each other. So we do split most of our cats up for feeding. It just stops them having a fight over their food. Let's have a look, see what he's got. Right, let me climb over his one, have a closer look. He's having his brunch. Yeah, tasty. So probably not going to pick up on my phone. But just to give you an idea of how strong their jaws are, I can hear him crunching that all the way from over here, and I reckon must be at least 8 meters away. They have got some strong jaws. They are, yes. So these are the two lions which came from a circus in, I think they got taken away from them in France, but the circus itself I think came from Spain. I know that some people have crossbred tigers and lions, so they make ligers, which is the biggest, even though they're not a naturally occurring cat, they are the biggest cat in the world. So I know that sometimes they might get on, but to be honest, it's not something I would never want to breed them anyway. I wouldn't chance having them together either. So they're from different parts of the world. I think generally speaking they wouldn't get on. It's just not something that needs to happen. So we've got the caracal over the back there. Hi Daniel, thanks for watching. Ligers are absolutely bizarre creatures, and they are massive as well. I don't know how that happens, but I mean, there's pictures of them standing up and getting fed from the top of a double-decker bus. But yeah, there's nothing natural about those whatsoever. And tigons as well. So there's two. So you've got ligers and tigons. Tigons are slightly smaller, and the name depends on who bred with whom. So there's one name for a cat which produced from a male tiger and a female lion, and the other is a female tiger and a male lion. I don't know which one's which off the top of my head, to be honest. I'd say that cat hybrids don't particularly interest me, so I've not really. Well, sorry about that, everyone. Apparently my phone is dangerously low on space, so I'm going to have to try and sort that out in a bit. I think it must save these streams locally on my phone, which I didn't realise, so I have to tidy those up. So we've got our emus here. There's Ayrton, one of our keepers. Not that you can see him, he's in the shade. So the big cat talk, I can't remember off the top of my head. If it's not, I don't think it's this week. So you have to have a look at the schedule for next week once I've finalised that. I just need to double check with some of the keepers that they're going to be available for what I want to do. There's our tigers. So all the cats are having brunch today. So what we're doing at the moment is just to try and make sure we're keeping them interested in things. We are changing up all their routines a little bit. So the big cats are having their dinner at a few different times now. And that's partly also just to try and make some adjustments while we're some of the sections at the moment. Obviously we've got staff who are self-isolating, both for themselves and for family members, so it's yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get the normal routine going at the moment. So they're not going to come over today. There's nothing more important to a tiger than his dinner. If anyone's asking questions, I can't see anything, so the chat isn't working at the moment. So I will go back through the chat once I log off and have a look to see if I've missed anything. So I'm going to assume that people are talking, because it doesn't usually go this quiet. So we will just come and have a quick look at our coatis and a quick look at the penguins, and then I will sign off. Just like I said, I'm not sure what's going on with the chat. So we've got, so that's one of our albino coatis there, and he was a rescue from the pet trade. So someone was trying to smuggle him into the Netherlands. So they are an invasive spime. You just needed some paperwork to get them, so the people didn't have those, so we ended up with them, and then that's their sort of natural colour. Gorgeous little animals. Right, we'll quickly go see the penguins, and then, like I said, I will head off in a minute because it feels a bit weird. I don't know if I'm talking to myself or not. It says on top of the screen that I've still got people watching, but without being able to see anyone talk, I'm not sure. These are penguins. So the guy at the front here, I don't know any of their names, so I'm glad that I can't see any of you asking what their names are. So this guy on the right there, that's one of our adults, and then the one behind him looking at him funny, that is one of our young ones from last year. So you can see they have different coloration. All shouting about today. Right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, if anyone else has been asking questions, apologise, I've not been able to see those. Something else going on my phone, I think. So I'm going to go back in a little while onto the chat, and I'll answer any questions that you had, and any other things that you can think of, just stick them on there. I do check those every day to try and keep up with you guys, and I will see what I can do. So see you again tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at the chimpanzees. I'm going to be filming them, well, streaming them from outside the enclosure, because I don't get any signal inside, and we're going to be doing some enrichment for them. So hopefully you'll be able to see them all tomorrow. And yeah, see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.